Huntington Beach. Hey, Lou. Hey, thank you all for joining us this morning for the 2021 inductions of the Surfing Walk of Fame. It's been a tough 20 months, folks. Would you guys agree with me? It's a tough 20 months, not just for surfers and for surfing, but for the entire world. The pandemic has affected each and every one of us so intimately. We all know somebody who's been ill or who's been lost. So I want to just take a moment of silence for all the loss we've experienced over the last 20 months. If you guys wouldn't mind, indulge me. Thank you so much, everybody. So we're thrilled to be back. Are you guys happy to be back? Yeah. We are absolutely thrilled to be back out here. And I want to invite up our friend, Pastor Kalani Akui. He's going to get us started here and bless our service.
Let us pray. Amen, amen, amen. Jesus Christ we pray. Amen. Amen.
I'd like to introduce some of our city officials that are here. We have our Mayor Pro Tem, Barbara Del Glaze. I did see our Fire Chief, Scott Haberly, somewhere. It's back there somewhere. We also have our Police Chief, Julian Harvey. Thanks for coming down today, Julian. Chief Harvey, I saw him too. He may have bailed. Oh, there they are. They're in the back. Good to see you guys. There's so many people to thank, right? This event takes so much effort and so much work on the part of our board and of the city and of Jack Surfboard, so we're thrilled to say thank you to them. Many of you have joined us over in the last month to the Surfing Walk of Fame, Wall of Fame unveiling over at Pacific City. It was an incredible event, super fun. We had 100 names got put up on the wall over there permanently. They're just recreations of our induction plaques that we have here in the street. I'd like to invite up here Jennifer Williams from Pacific City and Toby Reese from Hola Mexican Kitchen. Come on up, guys. Jennifer, on behalf of the Surfing Walk of Fame, we are so thrilled to give you this incredible plaque made by our own Dave Reynolds. He's back here somewhere.
Thanks, Dave.
It just says thank you for helping us with the Surfing Walk of Fame, Wall of Fame unveiling, for allowing us to participate there at Pacific City with you, and for being a permanent addition to your place. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Toby Reese.
Hi, bro.
So Toby's the owner of Hola Mexican Kitchen. He's also my oldest child's employer. So Toby, for so many years, has helped us as the Walk of Fame bringing us food. He totally fed everybody at that event. So Toby, thank you so much for being our partner in that.
You.
We appreciate you.
Super proud to do it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. So just real quickly, I'd like to invite up our Mayor Pro Tem, Barbara Del Glaze, to say a few words to you. Welcome, Barbara.
Wow. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is one of the neatest events to have right here on Main Street, isn't it? Come on, give me a big clap. Yay! Aloha. Aloha. Okay, one more. Aloha. Okay, aloha, Huntington Beach. Well, I am your Mayor Pro Tem, Barbara Del Glaze, and I want to welcome you all to Surf City. I'm so stoked to be here to welcome the class of 2021 inductees to the 27th Surfing Walk of Fame. I'm proud to be here today as we celebrate this week the return of the U.S. Open and the finals this week. And to top it off, September 20th, we just celebrated California Surfing Day. How many of you celebrated? And where is State Senator Janet Wynn? Janet Wynn, thank you. It was Senator Wynn really helped all of them come up to Sacramento, and they had a special event there. Jericho was there. Yeah. Anyway, it was a very special day. Thank you again. How awesome that it is that we're all back together to celebrate our newest inductees. Well, a few hundred candidates were nominated. A fresh crop of legendary wave riders will once again be forever enshrined in our surfing history books right here on Main Street. And they are Carissa Moore, Woman of the Year. Yes, big Woman of the Year. Damian Hardman, Surf Champion. Mike Tabeling, Surf Pioneer. Woo! Cecil Lear and Hoppy Schwartz, Surf Culture. Mike Downey, Local Hero. Woo! All right, Mike. Tim Brown and Rod Abadalafada, Honor Roll. And I really want to give a special thank you to John Etheridge, Surfing Walk of Fame Chair of the board, for getting us all together today, as well as PT and the rest of the board for making this happen. Let's give a little round of applause for them. Yeah. What started in 1994 as the Huntington Beach Surf Walk of Fame marked as a historic addition to our Surf City. The walk along Jack's surfboard paid tribute to those individuals who have contributed to surfing and its culture and are so deserving of recognition. I remember our own surfing padre, Father Christian Mondor, saying a prayer at this event for the inductees and surfers everywhere, in quotes. May their contributions to the sport of surfing keep us always stoked. Bless them and keep them safe on land, in the water, and sometimes as they fly off the lip. God bless you, Father. We miss you. And then on behalf of our Mayor Kim Carr, and the entire City Council, I just want to say thank you in keeping this tradition alive. It is really, gives me goosebumps to say this, but this is again one of those best things that we do in Huntington Beach. Thank you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem Barbara Del Glaze. I've known Barbara for 50 years. That's saying something. Thank you, Barbara. I want to invite up Assemblyperson Janet Wynn. She's the one who authored or helped author the California Surfing Day, so she's going to chat a little bit about that. Welcome, Janet.
Good morning. I'm Assemblymember Janet Wynn. I'm honored to be here with you today in Surf City, Huntington Beach, to honor those in the surfing community. I can't begin to tell you what this sport means to our community and also what it means for me to be a member of this community. I've had the honor, as mentioned, to recognize September 20th in 2018 as Surfing Day in California when I was in the state Senate. It was an unbelievable day. The measure itself is Surfing Day to celebrate California's surfing lifestyle. Would commend all those who honor the history, the culture, and the future of surfing, as well as the sport of surfing and the protection of our beach and our ocean environments. It was to also express support for future surfers and encourage all potential surfing. So it was such an honor, and we had such a great time, and you should have seen the state of California Capitol lit up. I do want to recognize former Mayor Mike Posey, who brought the idea to me, and the full City Council with Councilwoman Barbara De La Glaze. It could not have happened, and California deserved to have a surfing day on September 20th. So today, thank you for being here. Thank you for honoring our honorees and our inductees. I want to also thank the Board of Directors for making this happen, and the City of Huntington Beach and the Council and the Mayor. Can you give them a big round of applause? This is my 5th year representing Huntington Beach, and I believe it's my 5th year being at this event as well. That's how much it means to me. So thank you for giving me the honor, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
So we've had a couple of people mention our board of directors. I'm just going to, and we have Dan Kelmick's joined us here from City Council. Thank you for being here, Dan. Councilman Dan Kelmick, thanks for coming. So I want to just thank Tom Herbell, one of our board members, Mike Adams, we have Glenn Brummage, Eric Charlone, our own Jax Ron Abdel Fattah, one of our honorees today, Jennifer Tong, CJ Ray, one of our new board members. We have Rick Brown here, and of course, PT. We have back in the back, I want to thank Dave Garofalo. He's also one of our board members for helping us with the booth today, and my beautiful wife, Carla. I have to emphasize that in that way. You guys get it. Anyway, so some huge corporate giants, the surfing's corporate giants have helped us here today. I just want to name companies like O'Neill, Nixon, Quicksilver, Rip Curl, Billabong, Costa Eyewear, Dukes, Rand Spooner. We have Rain Optics. We have Vans. We have the Vans family right here. Thank you for being here. We have Visit Huntington Beach. I know Kelly Miller's here. Part of his team is here. Thank you to Visit Huntington Beach. We have Huntington Beach, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram, and the entire HB Auto Dealers Association. But most of all, we really have to thank our Surfing Walk of Fame. We really have to thank Jax. Jax is our patron sponsor. They have been for 27 years. They do so much in the community. They're a fixture here on Main Street. We're blessed to have them. Thank you, Ron. So we consider it an honor to celebrate surfers, the culture, surfing, and its history every day at the Surfing Walk of Fame. And today, the Surfing Walk of Fame is forever changed. We have 8 new inductees that'll join a class of over 165 former inductees that are forever enshrined here in the street. As we begin today's ceremony, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of friends that are here with us today. We have one of our founders and Surfing Walk of Fame inductee in 2019, the mayor, Don McAllister. I think I'm going to boo, because I boo Don when he gets just, can you boo with me? Boo. That's what I do to Don. It's an affectionate, I promise it's affectionate. His daughter's here. See, oh, both daughters are here. Wow. All right. So I'd also like to acknowledge a couple of people that we've lost this year. We've lost a ton of surf history, surf culture, surfers, friends. We lost Rick Rockin' Fig Fignetti this year. So I'm going to slap this thing on and say how much we miss him.
Yeah, here we are, Walk of Fame induction pre-party. It's going off. The Ramsey brothers are playing. The Surf City Go-Go's just danced. And the Figster going in there, signing up, trying to win some of the killer auction stuff. A John signed jersey from over at the Pipeline Contest. A Kelly Slater, a balsa wood, a Dick Brewer gun. It's all happening in there. Glad you can make it.
We also lost the legendary Ben Ipa and one of the original surf history legends, Greg Knoll the Bull. So we have our own group of legends here today. I'm going to invite up our legend, former world champ, PT. Let's get it started, PT.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Surfing Walk of Fame, our 28th edition, only we missed one at 27 due to COVID. We've all been affected by COVID, but it's so great to get the tribe together. What do you reckon? We're getting everyone together, right? This is what it should be all about, right? John already gave a shout out to Rockin' Fig. I called him the voice of Main Street, and we sure do miss him. But John mentioned the Walk of Fame book that we did when we celebrated our last induction for 25 years, and if you get a copy today, there are more people in the book here than we've ever had at any induction ceremony ever. So I think I've got them all here. I'm just calling them all out. You can keep clapping the whole time if you like. Bud Lamas, Steve Van Doren, Michael Ho, Don McAllister, Chuck Lennon, Bob the Greek Boland, Meg Bernardo, LJ Richards, Randy Lewis, Morgan Boozer, the widow of John Boozer, the great John Boozer, Jericho Poplar, Shannon Eichman, Bob Early, Dick and Sherry Brewer, Joey Cabell right here in the front row, David Nueva, Andy Verdone, and Michael O was just over there, but his daughter's surfing in the heat, so he left us. And a couple other shout outs. We've been invaded from the East Coast because of Cecil Lear, who founded the ESA some 50 years ago. And the president of the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame, Gary Germain, is here today, along with Cecil's wife, Mary Lou, his daughter, and a bunch of East Coast Hall of Fame inductees. I think I've got them all. I don't know if they're all in, but I'll name them anyway. I got Jim Cartland right here, Hannah Jocelyn, Bob McNona, Diane Grosskreutz, Tyler Calloway. Did I miss anyone, Bob? I got them all. We're invaded by the East Coast. And I'd just like to give a shout out to Aaron Pye and the Pye family. They're not doing Hall of Fame, but already this year they've celebrated our lost hero, local hero, Casey Wheat, and of course Rockin' Fig with a mammoth paddle out we had a couple of weeks ago.
To me, it's just really special to have this much love in our community and to really honor and recognize Fig.
Okay, you know my deal up here. I make my introductions short because, like Andy Warhol said, you get 15 minutes of fame. Now, hopefully they don't all speak for 15 minutes or we'll be here till tonight. So, starting off, we've got a great induction class. We are affected by COVID and a couple of people can't attend, and a few of our inductees have passed away. But I'm going to start with a guy who was here from day one, and we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Ron Abdel-Fattah. He was on the first board of directors for JAX and has been a mainstay of JAX support for our Walk of Fame inductions every year. Ron said, I better get on here soon, I'm getting old, I want to get out of here, I'm going to retire. But he's still too busy meeting with all the sales reps, and I see a lot of them out there today. All the sales reps are here because he's probably bought a lot of stuff from you guys, so you owe him, right? And the companies that pay your commissions, you owe him too. So without further ado, Ron Abdel-Fattah for the honor roll.
Thank you, BT. Good morning, Huntington Beach. Welcome to Walk of Fame, 28 years. Thank you for this honor and including me as a part of the Surfing Walk of Fame this year. I am grateful to be a part of the surfing community in Huntington Beach, and JAX will continue to support its growth. This has been my home for many years. Being honored this year shows the loyalty and commitment I have made for my community. In behalf of myself and JAX Surfboards, thank you for this honor, and I welcome everybody in the industry came to support our Walk of Fame today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron, and thank for all the support of JAX. This brings us to our next category, which is surf culture. And we're going to start with a guy that's not with us today that I was fortunate to know, Hoppy Swartz. He, along with Cecil Lear, basically created competitive surfing here in America. In the early 60s, Hoppy founded the United States Surfing Association. And without, if you think about it, without Hoppy and Cecil doing what they did back in the early 60s, we might not have had surfing in the Olympics this year, because what they did was set the foundation for competitive surfing. Hoppy's son Buzz is here today, and I welcome Buzz to the stage on behalf of his father.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say a few quick things about him, to highlight some of his career. In the early 30s and 40s, way back when there was no such thing as a foam surfboard or anything like that, they had the redwood boards and some redwood balsa boards laminated together. But he was a member of the Palos Verdes Surfing Club in the 30s and 40s. He then, he had three children, myself and my two sisters, so he had to sort of take a sabbatical from surfing. He still surfed all the time, but obviously he had to bring up a family, he had to work and so on. He worked at TRW and Hughes Aircraft as an electrical engineer. Then in the 60s, as Peter mentioned, he was instrumental in forming the United States Surfing Association, and he was the first president of it. And basically the reason they got together, and I wish I could remember some of the other names, but is that they were concerned about the image of surfing. So they figured they had to figure out a way to enhance the image, and so they formed the United States Surfing Association, and then things just blossomed from them. Another thing, the judging system that is used in the surf contest today, probably with some modifications, I assume, but he formulated that back in the 60s with his mathematical genius mind. He came up with it. And he was also very instrumental here in the city of Huntington Beach, running the surfing championships that they've had throughout the years here. And me being a surfer too, I was lucky enough to, since I knew the head judge, I was offered a place to come and judge the contest too. So anyway, on behalf of my two sisters, Susan and Leslie, the rest of my family who's here, I want to thank the city of Huntington Beach and anybody Peter, who got a hold of me, and anybody else that was instrumental in having my dad inducted into the Hall of Fame. Also, one quick, Cecil's going to be coming up next here with Gary. I wanted to thank them also because they were instrumental in having my dad inducted a couple years ago in the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame. So anyway, thank you very much.
And so that brings us to Cecil Lear, making his way up here, all the way from the Jersey Shore. I was actually with Cecil last week because I had the honor of doing the induction ceremony for the New Jersey Surfing Hall of Fame. And that's why all these East Coasters down here in the front row invaded us today. They're all here on behalf of Cecil and the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame, which Cecil founded. Not only did he found the ESA, but the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame with Greg Knoll some 20 years ago. And these guys here in this front two rows are already inductees over there, all great champions of the East Coast. I've known Cecil now for a really long time, and it's really an honor to be up here for him. We've had some incredible conversations about the early days, and when I was back there just now, I sat down and did an interview with him for posterity, where he was telling me about how they got started surfing in Jersey in the late 50s and 60s when there were only 75 surfers on the whole Jersey Shore, from New York to Hatteras. Can you imagine only being 75 surfers in that area? Today you go over there, and just like California, they're everywhere. It's my great honor to bring to the stage Cecil Lear.
Thank you, BT, we go back a long way, a real long way. I'd say 35 years.
Maybe 40.
Maybe 40, yeah. But I remember 74, 75, when he came over to Grog's. Anyway, yeah. Okay, first I would like to thank the city of Huntington Beach for having this function every year for 25 years now. I'd like to thank the board of directors for the being here and continuing it. And Jack Surf Shop, Ron Avafada, and then continuing for 25 years endorsing this. A long time ago, we started out on the Jersey Shore, and I'm not going to go very far. My mom and dad taught me the beach culture by going to the beach, and that brought the beauty of loving the ocean that I never left me. When we started out, and one other thing, I want to thank my wife Mary Lou, my daughter Nancy, got two other daughters that couldn't come. They all put up with me for many, many years, driving up and down the coast, going to contests, running contests, surfing, and thank you so much for being there, always supporting me. We got a great group here. All these people here for us from the East Coast. It's incredible how much support we've had. I'm really proud and honored to be here. You can't believe how proud and honored I am to be acknowledged for helping out surfing. It was a labor of love for all those years. And I've gotten so much reward, met so many friends. It's mind-boggling. And I must say that one of the most beautiful things is that we've had this East Coast connection with the West Coast that started nearly 60 years ago when I, in 1964, rode away to the USSA after getting the first issue of Surfer back in, I guess it was 61, the first quarterly issue, and said we got to do this back home in the East Coast. Got a bunch of guys together, and actually we had about 4 or 5 girls who were very interested, and there were a lot of women at that time who surfed more than they are maybe now, although it's getting bigger at this time. But we got together, we formed the JSA, and I started corresponding with Hoppy Schwartz. And he had all the rules, regulations that Buzz talked about. And he, I guess, saw that I was interested in, we had a problem on the East Coast. The problem was that we had so much, you had to pay to go on the beach. There are all kinds of regulations. So what happened was we got the guys together and formed an association because we needed to get some stability to the kids down on the beach who are starting to surf. And Hoppy had all the rules and regulations. We started a surfing contest. From that point, we went on to forming the ESA. About 67, Hoppy got a hold of me because we had been working on different things with the contest rules and all. And he said, I want you to meet Rudy Huber. And Rudy, I want to start the 4th regional contest. 4 regional contests that would be representing the surfing in the United States from the I'm sorry. They actually, what happened was they were shelving the USSA. And so we became part of the U.S. surfing with the ESA, the WSA, which has already been started, HSA, and the Gulf Coast Association. Hoppy was one of those people who was just a very beautiful man, a prince of a guy. And he was very stern about running a contest and taught us how to do it and what to do. And we formed the ESA from that point on and became just, tremendous. He was a mentor. He was a mentor, became a friend. We shared the competition and worked together until his untimely death around 1988. Miss him dearly. I want to fast forward. I don't want to keep everybody up here too long. He came out to the East Coast in 1967 for the Virginia Beach championships that we had. And what I did was I got him to come to Atlantic States contest and had Marge Calhoun, Les Williams, and we put on the contest for him, then went down to Virginia Beach for East Coast Championships. And that's when he got Rudy and I together and said, you guys got to start this. So we just got everybody working together. All the guys from the West Coast are coming out. Con and Hobie, Greg Knoll, Weber Knoll. And we had this competition series that we brought the East Coast together and brought the West Coast together. In 1994, I got a call from Greg Knoll. That blew me away. I was at work in New York at that time for Peterson Publishing. I said, Greg, what? It's great to talk to you. You know what? He says, you guys have been really dumped on a lot. You need to start a Hall of Fame. I said, okay, that's a good idea. We should have thought about that. He said, yeah, I want to start a Hall of Fame. So he and I talked from 1994, 95 about how to do this, and he had all the contacts with the expo, Surf Expo. What happened was he just came to East Coast, that 94 and then 95, and in late 95 we put it all together. He had 50 names. I said, what do you got? 50 names, that's too many. Well, I gotta cut it down to 23. And from that time on, we just took off. After 1 year, he said, I'm gonna give it over to you. What I want to do is just be in the background, and for the next 20 years, we had the Hall of Fame, and it's grown to what we have now. We got all these people down here. We got Hunter Jocelyn, Jim Cartland, Henry Ford. Henry Ford's almost East Coaster too. You know, we've been Betty's for a long time. Bob McDonough, Tyler Calloway, Bill Rosenfeld. It was Bob with the Surfrider Foundation for years, and just, you know, got a great group of people here. Mike Tabling, one of our heroes, one of our great surfers, is is being inducted today. I'm so proud of him. And I'd also like to say that I'm very, very happy that we have a gold medalist here that's going to be inducted. And that is really an unbelievable thing. Carissa Moore. So, thank you very much, and God bless. That wasn't too good.
Wow, you had some history there about how competitive surfing got started, and we wouldn't have the US Open across the street if it wasn't for people like Cecil and Hoppy Swartz. Another round of applause for those guys. Hey, I forgot what to call out one guy I just saw in the audience. We got Malibu royalty in the house. Alan Salo right here. Okay, so these bloody Aussies, the Aussie government, they wouldn't let my mate Damien Hardman out of the country because of COVID. What a bummer. Damien actually won the ISA World Junior Championships right out here in 1984 when Janice Aragon and Scott Farnsworth won the men's. And Damien, as I also call him, Duma, was so bummed he couldn't be here today. But we got someone great to accept on his behalf, who I've known for a long time. I used to sponsor this guy for Rusty back in the day, and he was a champion surfer, represented the United States in the ISA contest. And today, he is the CEO of Rip Curl America. I'd like to bring to the stage Dylan Slater to accept on behalf of Damien.
Yeah, Mike. Appreciate it. Well, thank you, PT, and good morning, everybody. Damien Hardman, Duma, as PT referred to him as his nickname, he gave me the distinct honor of reading a few words on his behalf today, and he was honestly just shattered. He couldn't be here today. You know, the travel regulations in Australia at the moment just made it completely impossible. So, but before I do that, I want to quickly thank the Surfing Walk of Fame, its board, its members, and everyone here who made this possible. You know, preserving the cultural significance and icons of surfing is extremely important work, and I just want to thank you all for that. Also want to congratulate all the honorees today, the inductees, all your contributions and everything you've done. Thank you. It's greatly, greatly appreciated and very well deserved. So before I read Duma's words, I just wanted to share a quick personal anecdote. You know, growing up as a surf-obsessed Grom in Ventura, California, I always had this deep admiration for Damien Hardman. You know, he's a goofy foot like me, which I liked, right? And he used a front foot Gorilla Grip pad, which I happened to copy when I was 10 years old. I liked that look. You know, I distinctly remember him tearing apart perfect lefts at G-Land in the original search film created by the late, great Sonny Miller. And I wanted to emulate that. And of course, there was his competitive savagery, you know, winning 2 world titles. He knew how to win, he knew how to play the game, and he knew how to win. And he did it a lot, and I really admired that. However, from those days, it was nearly 20 years later where that admiration actually turned to friendship. Working in the marketing department of Rip Curl at the time, I had the tough task of traveling around to different WCT events to help operate them. So whether it was Bells or Portugal or wherever the Rip Curl Pro Search led us around the world, I happened to go, and Damien Hardman was almost always the contest director for those events. So we spent a lot of time together. And you know, the guy who grew up watching you know, world titles and on these search flicks happened to be one of the friendliest, most down-to-earth, genuine, and funniest dudes I'd ever met. You know, was this truly the Iceman? You know, was this a cold-blooded, world title-winning machine I'd watched for so many years? But you know, spending time with him, surfing, having a few beers, talking story, and obviously working on the events gave me a whole perspective of the great human he is. He's a devoted family man. You know, he's a savvy businessman. He's a true surfer who happens to be one of the most accomplished in our sport. And I couldn't imagine anyone more fitting than Duma to be inducted into the Surfers Walk of Fame. So, you know, so I'm going to read a few words on his behalf. To the Surfing Walk of Fame board and my fellow inductees, I would like to apologize for not being able to attend today's ceremony due to the COVID-19 lockdown. I'm currently in Sydney and unable to surf more than 3 miles from my home break at Narrabeen, let alone travel to Huntington. I'm incredibly proud and humbled to be inducted into the Surfing Walk of Fame. Thank you to everyone who voted for me. I'd like to congratulate all my fellow inductees this year with no particular mention in order, but to Carissa Moore on your incredible year, winning not only the Olympic gold medal, but also your 5th world title. You're an incredible role model for our sport. I'd also like to congratulate and thank Dr. Tim Brown, who was a great help to me in the later part of my competitive career. I love traveling. I love traveling and competing at Huntington Beach during my career. I had a real love-hate relationship with the pier, which actually scared the shit out of me
when surfing on the bigger days. Whilst I really loved the north side of the pier where I won the World Junior title in '84, I struggled surfing on the south side in the OP Pros and the US Opens. I made some great friends in California over the years who really looked after me, in particular Greg Wade in the early Mango days, Greg and Duran Mungle, who looked after many of the young Aussies, and I would especially like to thank the entire Rip Curl family from Butch Barr and Dave Lester in the early days to Dylan Slater today. I promise you I didn't write these words. Who have been a huge support during not just me but in my career but in life. I look forward to getting back to California next year and catching up with you all. Once again, I thank you. I'm truly humbled. Duma.
I'm just going to add that Dylan's, he did like a few beers. If you look at his photo in the program holding the jug of beer at the ASP, he probably drank the whole jug by himself. That leads us to our category, Surf Pioneers, but we've got a special guest today that's going to come up and say a few words. When I was 13, Joey Cabell got third in the Australian first World Championships in 1964. And I was just a little grom because my Aussie mate Midget won. But Joey surfed so good that day, he actually tied with Doyle for second. But I think it was a countback, right, Joey? And they gave the second place to Mike and Joey third. So it's my honor to bring up already a Walk of Famer, Joey Cabell.
Yeah, Joey. Well, I am great, mate. How are you?
Nice introduction for me. Anyway, I'm very honored to be here. I want to thank everyone here to be part of this famous Walk of Fame. Mahalo, everybody. Thank you so much to be part of this. Now, I surfed this coastline heavily through the late 50s and all through the 60s. So I have many friends here that I've surfed with all over the audience. So mahalo for everyone for allowing me to participate in the surfing world on this Southern California coast. Okay, so I think I was part of a Duke-Hanamoku surf team, which was surfing around the country. And when surfing became an Olympic sport, I didn't think I'd ever live long enough to see it. So I'm so honored to be part of knowing that it's finally here, right? So surfing, of course, was the birthplace in Hawaii. And I wanted to say one more thing before I get off the stage. Thank you, Carissa Moore, for bringing the gold medal back to Hawaii. And we really appreciate everything you've done in your 5 championships and the gold medal you just won. So mahalo for everything you've done, especially for the women of surfing. Mahalo. So thank you for letting me participate in this event, and I just want to let everybody know that I really love this town of Huntington Beach, the pier, and everything everyone has done here over the years. Mahalo. Yana, this boo is for you, babe.
So, Surf Pioneer, of course, was a mate of mine, no longer with us. But when I look down here, his son Travis looks just bloody like him, my God. I think I'm back in the 70s when this photograph here came out in the magazines. And I went, he's riding this little fish. I want to make one of those. You know, I'd seen the fish at the World Contest in '72, where Jimmy Blears and David Nueva rode them to first and second, and I got third on a round tail. I thought, shit, I better try one of those. So I built one because of this photo. Such an insane photo. That's what you call great surfing right there. Of course, Mike and I became great friends. I went to the East Coast for the first time at Sebastian Inlet. Had my boards just like San Diego, they didn't work. So overnight, I built a board at Tabling's factory, a fish. And I got to the quarterfinals, and I better keep one of those in my quiver from now on. And of course, Mike eventually ended up here on the West Coast, married Nancy Tabling right here in the second row right here. Nancy's daughters were great volleyball players, as was my stepdaughter, so him and I hung out in the gymnasium for a while, cheering on volleyball girls. Boy, that was a time. So it's my great honor to bring Travis and Nancy up to the stage.
How's everybody doing today? From being the first East Coast surfer to come over to the West Coast and show that East Coast surfers could actually surf, to setting cross-country records in paragliding in South Africa. My dad has been one of the finest pioneers that I've ever known. And for those of you that had known him personally, even for a day, you would agree with me that one of the finest things he did as a pioneer was spread stoke. He would make just about anybody who met him stoked out of their mind, whether it was like grabbing him and bringing him to Sebastian on a good day to show him where to surf, or just buying him lunch. It was an incredible thing he would do. This means a lot to our family, and that family also includes all of you guys, and the hundreds of people that he touched while he was here. It's hard to speak for a man that is so full of creative surprises, but if he were here today, I think that he would say, don't be afraid or hesitate on your journey to be the first to accomplish something seemingly inconceivable. Again, thank you, City of Huntington Beach and Surfers Walk of Fame for this honor. Have a great rest of your day.
That brings me to another great mate of mine. Who hasn't Tim Brown worked on in the Huntington Beach, right? He's been working on the surface down here on the beach, and still to this day, he's down there right now at the US Open, but he's here in the audience with me for this great moment. Tim has been the chiropractor, rehab specialist to the surf stars, but not only the surf stars, some of the greatest athletes that live in Southern California. And Tim has dedicated his life to medicine, to rehab, and there's a million guys will testify, just like Damien did a minute ago, to how he's kept them in the water. He's a great mate of mine, and it's my honor to bring Tim Brown to the stage.
Yeah, Brownie.
Come on in. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much. Oh, hey, thank you, Huntington Beach. It's great to see everybody today. Gosh, I'll probably kick it over in a second, but wow. Yeah, it's been quite a career, and I just have so many people to thank. for allowing me to play a part in your lives. And special thanks to PT and the board for the Walk of Fame. I mean, it's a thrill beyond belief. When I got the phone call, I swear I thought he was punking me. It took me literally weeks to really kind of weave through and see if this was for real. And so with that in mind, I just wanted to share with you kind of a quick run through how this all happened, and special thanks to some of these people that have really carried me through some of these rough times that we all have in our lives. And I just want to show my appreciation. And so here we go. First, there's one thing that I do with every athlete that I treat, and especially before competition. And there's a way that you can work with your body to allow it to come into the moment and live in the moment and be in the moment, because that's where the zone is. That's where happiness lies. That's where life is truly lived. So let's practice that for a second. I'd love everybody to put your one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And I want you to breathe in through your nose, and I want you to take that breath right into your belly, and I want you to hold on to it for about 7 seconds. And then we're going to let it out together in 8 counts, and we're going to make this noise when we do it. The tongue's going to be against the roof of your mouth. And you're going to get an experience of what it feels like to truly bring your body into the moment. And you can control that, and you can do this the rest of your life and share it with your families. So let's all take it in. Through the nose, into the belly, not the chest. Don't let the hand move on the top. Only the hand on the bottom. Breathe in through the nose. Hold. And slowly let it out in 7. Thank you. You're in the moment. Now so am I. Well, my first memories of surfing were of my dad and his crew sitting around a fire on the beach down under the cliffs in Huntington. I was probably 5. I didn't know what stoke was, but I felt it. That moment has been with me my whole life. It's allowed me to really appreciate nature and to appreciate the people that support it. So thanks to my father, my mom. Sorry for all the sand that I left in the bed and the washing machines I ruined. To my brothers and sisters, thank you for being there. Whether it's playing football or surfing or whatever it was, you guys always showed the support. It meant so much to me. And then to my lovely Hillary. The former evil Queen Divatox from the Power Rangers. How did I end up with such a beautiful woman? We've been sharing our lives together the last 15 years. It's never been better. I appreciate you. I appreciate your daughters, Scarlett and Cassidy. So, why sports medicine? How did that all happen? Because I got a football scholarship to college, and I was injured all the time. And so spending time in a training room with the orthopedist, the athletic trainer, lots of ice packs, lots of hot pads. I was really curious about the body. I was curious about what I could do to help prevent me from showing up in their clinic so often. So I really started to study the body and really got into how it worked. During my college career, somebody one day in my English class gave me a quote from a famous author named James Michener, who wrote a great novel called Hawaii. If you haven't read it, get on it. It's a classic about the Polynesian culture. I really fell in love with that Polynesian culture through my dad because he played football for the Kaneohe Marines during the Korean War in Hawaii, and that's when he picked up surfing. And he brought that culture to me and my family. Culture that respects nature, that lives in nature, that respects one another, and that honors their elders. So I was given this quote, and I want to read it to you today, if you don't mind. I've kept it all these years because it's been decades since I've been in college. And it's called The Master of Life. And when I read it the first time, I knew that this crazy direction that I wanted to take, I don't like walking the same path of everyone else. I kind of like to take my own journey, and I don't know what's going to be around the corner, and that's what kind of always thrilled me, and that's certainly what kept me into surfing, because you don't know what the next wave is going to look like or how you're going to ride it. But the master in the art of living makes little distinction between work and play, labor and leisure, mind and body, information and recreation, love and religion. He or she hardly knows which is which. He or she simply pursues the vision of excellence at whatever he or she does, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he's always doing both. And so when I read that, it kind of validated this trip where I didn't really want to be a 9-to-5er. I wanted to find a way where I could still enjoy nature, but still contribute at the same time and move forward in my life. So I think I just really wanted to share that with you because it was just so meaningful to me, and I hope, whether young or old, it has some meaning for you. Live what you love. So during this career of mine, I wanted to find a way to stay wet. And there's a bunch of us out here in the audience that did the same thing. We weren't really blessed with the talent to surf at a super high level, as some of you in the audience are. But we know we had just as much stoke as anybody in the world. So to my boys, Bobby Graff, Steve Zeldin, James Lynch, Bob Hurley, Richard Wolcott, and again, there's more out there that I'll never be able to name all of you. I just wanted to say thank you for your support and for your inspiration. It's still with me to this day because I really start to Jones when I miss a day at the beach, as I'm sure everybody out here does. So I found a way to combine my love and passion for surfing and my love for health and fitness, and to understand the curiosity I needed to have quenched. So my first event, I got asked to do the ASP TDK. Do you remember tapes, cassette tapes? TDK, do you remember Gotcha? The TDK Gotcha Pro in Hawaii. So it was a long time ago. And I got to go over there, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the ability to have an office on the beach, to be able to look at the people that I admired do what they're best at, the surfers, be able to take surf breaks, and of course be in Hawaii. I mean, I was hooked. I needed to find a way. How could I do this for the rest of my life? And again, with the support of the people that I mentioned, I've been able to so far. So thank you for those travel adventures. And those adventures were never better. The less money I had, the less money we had, the better the adventure. We didn't know what was around the corner, like I said, so that was really thrilling. We slept on couches, floors, front yards. It didn't matter because the stoke is real. And then going through taking care of athletes, I learned that, heck, I know very little in this sea of knowledge. And so I really wanted to surround myself with people that were really, really good and passionate at what they do, but had a different way of approaching the same thing, and that's to make surfers healthier and to help them prevent injuries, and if they were injured, help them to recover. I knew I couldn't do it all by myself, so I started to bring in professionals from every walk, every discipline in medicine that I thought could contribute to the health of the athletes. And so my first event at the US Open back in the 80s, it was me. It was a table, an exam table. It was an ice chest, because we used to ice athletes back then, and a security guard. And an umbrella. They gave me an umbrella. This probably for the athletes, not me. But it was an incredible thing, you know, and it was just great to be out here, great to see everybody, and certainly great to help contribute to the great sport of surfing. Well, fast forward now to where we are today. We've got somewhere between 35 and 45 doctors and therapists out there of every ilk, spreading the love to the athletes. And our goal is to not just to treat, but to teach them better ways to take care of themselves and to recover. And then we want them to spread that word out to the rest of the world. We believe in the trickle-down effect. If these younger surfers see these athletes warming up and working with others to help support their careers, perhaps that they could do that when they grew up. So we want it to be aspirational. And what turned into a labor of love for the athletes ended up being so beneficial just for myself, because I got to learn from everybody, and that became our ticket. We really didn't care about the paycheck, not that there was one, but what we got was incredible education from each other. And so in that spirit, we've kept this going for years and years and years. In fact, this is probably, I don't know, somewhere around 35 years of doing this. And the Stoke continues to grow. So I want to just thank, there's a few people out here in the audience right now. If you're on the medical team, ever have been for us, would you just raise your hand up here? There are so many here in the audience and so many more. And there are hundreds throughout the world in almost every country that the ASP, now WSL, goes to. We've got crews taking care of athletes like never before. So super inspirational. I'm super grateful. I'm super thankful. And there's a couple of people I want to just mention in the audience. Dr. Ben Rubin. A great friend and a brave man, because back in the 80s, to associate with a chiropractor, a medical doctor and a chiropractor were never seen or often seen together, that's for sure, and not in public, because it just wasn't the way of the world, the way of the culture. Chiropractic and medicine didn't go together. And Ben was one of the first guys to really open up his heart and to open up his mind and to see that, hey, we're after the same thing. We're trying to keep these people playing. We're trying to keep them on the court or in the water. Why don't we collaborate? And that began my collaboration with just about every healthcare profession you can think of. And we brought them all out to work with us on the beach. Dr. Warren Kramer, who's probably at the beach right now if he's not here today, I've been working with him over the last 30 years. If you're a surfer and you've had an injury that required surgery, you've probably heard of him. Just a special man and an open heart, right? Sorry.
I put my arm up around him.
Right, yeah, well, yeah, hacksaw, we call him hacksaw. No, lovingly. But he's given more surfers more days back out in the water from his care. Dr. Doonan, Dr. Doug Anderson, Dr. Terry Romine, Dr. Dana Beret. I can go on and I will. Mike Rentala. There's so many that I would love to thank, and I wish I could thank you personally up here, but I've probably taken enough of your wonderful time and your precious time. And in closing, I just want to say, Pops, I know it's shocking, but you can actually make the honor roll and still have long hair. That was just... One of the things that was highly discouraged growing up, long hair, bell bottoms, surf leashes, and wetsuits. Those guys were studs. You guys from the 60s, 50s are unbelievable heroes to me, all of you. I raced to that mailbox every day to find Surfer Magazine back in the 60s when I was growing up. I wanted to get that thing before my dad got home from work because I knew once he got it, man, it was his for a while. So thank you for that. And then I also wanted to leave this note. If every day we do a little something to help this earth heal, we're all going to benefit from it. Pick up a piece of trash, do something to clean the ocean. We can all do it. You know, if we're one person, we're but a drop in the ocean, but together we are the ocean. And then Finally, and definitely not last but least, thank those that are in service for our country. Thank those that are in service for our community. They make it safe for us, and they make us better because we're able to do what we like to do while they're protecting us selflessly. And hey, I got nothing but love for everyone out there. And I'm sorry if I took too much time. It's heartfelt. I love everybody. I love surfing. And have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a testament to that work. Warren Kramer did this shoulder and Tim made it better. Okay, local hero. Wow. I don't think we've ever had a response to local hero like the guy I'm going to bring up here in a moment. We go back a long way when the Bronze Aussies turned up here in our gold jackets. And he saw us coming down the street and he went, "Who are these guys?" And then not long after that, my next honoree, Mike Downey, was on the US national team to Australia in 1982 as the USA judge when I took Tom Curran as a teenager to my hometown, and Tom Curran won the first ISA World Championships in my hometown, which didn't go over very well. Actually, MD will remember, we had this van and we had eggs splattered all over the side of it, thanks to my Aussie mates. But MD's been a trooper in this town in every way, shape and form. Whether it's as a surfer, he's been out at the north side ever since I can remember ripping. He's been a judge, a commentator. He's done about everything you could possibly do as a surfer. It's my honor to bring MD, Mike Downey, as the local hero for 2021.
I'm here because mainly my father was the one that pushed me when I was a young man into the surf. As I graduated from all the ALT, alternative surfing types of positions, I still currently ride a stand-up paddleboard, I ride a shortboard, and I ride a longboard. And the foil board has not got underneath of me yet. I don't want to get cut up. Anyways, as far as the community goes, man, I watched the transformation of this town from a ghost town. People didn't even oil the hinges on their doors back then. They didn't need to because there wasn't that many people going in and out of the doors. I even swept the shaping room on 5th Street over there when Dick Brewer shaped over there. He shaped a bunch of boards over there with Jim Turner, and that's how I got to know Rock and Fig, and we ended up at Plastic Fantastic on Coast Highway right there in the middle of the block, boxing surfboards for those guys. And I used to surf with Jericho at the pier all the time, and I was just in awe the whole time, just watching her magically flow across the waves. You're just like, wow, where did she learn to do that? Then you found out she was a prima ballerina dancer, and you're like, oh, where's my leotard? But they didn't have one big enough. No. Anyway, so why we're all here today is to celebrate really Surf City, right? Yeah. Surf City it's the world championship stage from 1959 to now, right? But is that one considered part of it? Pete, yeah. Is it? It is, right? It's considered part of the U.S. championship chain that went on year after year here. What year did we skip? Where's our museum historian?
What's that?
59 we skipped out? Okay. Well, anyways, so it was continuous. So actually it was the world championship chain, and we have all past champions here that I mimicked and copied a lot of people's styles, and people like Bud Lamas accentuated onto their styles and became superheroes pushing surfboards into the air, and we watched it right here in HB at Surf City. Things are getting better. Things are getting vast. Things are going up around here. When we had a flat little city for a long time with only 2 stories, we even have the old sidewalk left up there on this half of the block. So there's still 100-year-old cement in downtown, which to me it means a lot. It means our heritage is meant to be preserved. And you can go to the Surf Museum and check in on that and get all that. They got it going on up there. We just finished up some Saturday night surf movies outside, like you were at the drive-in theater, but except you brought your own chair. BYOC, right? Bring your own chair. Yeah. HB was a lovely place to grow up in. It was. I grew up downtown, 11th Street. When we first moved here, you left your house and there was like half a block left with no houses on it. And now that everything's full, it's getting, we even got a shuttle that'll shuffle us around town for free now. So you see the little electric cars? That's cool. I think it's cool. I rode it for the first time last night. I did. My friends were getting.
That was all those cocktails in there.
We had a couple margies, and then off we went, and I ditched my friends because I could. And they were like, "What?" Yeah. So, but surfing, I think surfing's going in the right direction, competition-wise, and fighting in the media from Hollywood. Are they Hollywood? Are they? Is it the shows, the reality shows? Are they Hollywood? They are, huh? So that gives more actors and actresses time to practice up for trying to get on the show, right? Yeah, because this is Surf City, and we can hold the title or position as all being actors and actresses here in HB, right? We got lots of coaches here. There's mine right over there, Chuck Lennon, man. He took me when I was 12, and my brothers and I grew up in a judo dojo, but so we could take it on the head a little bit more than our friends. He grabbed me and said, "Come on, Downey, you want to go outside?" And I said, "Maybe." And then he got me outside after about a week, and then my dad came down and said, he shook his hand, he said, "Okay, you're taking care of him now." And that's how HB was. The hardest guys to really surf at the pier with were the hole-in-the-wall gangs when they left the hole-in-the-wall down there at 13th Street. Oh, man, those guys were fierce. But they were so polished. They were so polished. I love the hole-in-the-wall gang. And there's Randy Lewis right over there, man. He made me my first high-performance 9-foot double-wing swallow, double-barrel V, tucked edge flying machine. It wasn't a 3-stringer with a D-fin glassed on the end of it that hung over it where I couldn't turn it. I would start flying in the air, and I just started laughing, going, "This is rad." I'd go home and tell my friends, and they'd go, "No way, you didn't do that." And I said, "Okay, just come to the beach tomorrow with me, and I'll try a couple." And that's all I really... my memories of Surf City are kind of like just envied. They're envied by lots of people because a lot of beaches don't get the swells that we do here. All swells break on this beach pretty much. The extreme north swells don't because we face south. But Huntington is a wave magnet, and the city council's done a good job of preserving our right to heritage here. And I'm hoping that we can continue this. And having these everybody needs to get together in these tents and have maybe 4 of these a year, who's the best person for the season, right? Right. It's sinking in already. And it's okay to make money off of surfing's image because we're Surf City. And you guys can do it on the East Coast too, right? Henry will help you, right, Hen? Look at Henry. He's like the immortal man now. He is. I love it when I see my mentors and I just want to go out there and hit the lip harder than the young guys. And my buddy Alan Sarlo from Malibu, he's every day you can look at him rip all the way across the point and do 18 off the lips in a row before he gets to the pier. Yeah, it's just surfing is such a thrill. You know, when I work in the medical field, and when people come up and ask me, "Oh, how do you stay in shape? How do you stay in shape?" And I go, "I ride spinning walls of water made by God." And they go, yeah, that's right, huh? And then you know, if you're Parmy, Bam, John Parman, another character in this town, another 85 U.S. champion, lives down the street. Yeah, we still surf together all the time. Yeah, and he's very lethal. He's the most feared surfer in competitions back when what was it? No, the buoy that was out there. Oh, the priority buoy. Yeah, the priority buoy rule where he would make these young Australian rookie kids. They couldn't out paddle him, and every time he raced them to the buoy, they'd come in on the beach at the end when he defeated them, and they were crying. But that's competition. We're here, and we're in the biggest competition city on a coastal plain, which is a coastal plain here, anywhere in the world. Even Alan agrees, right, Alan? Sarlo agrees, and he's on a rock point, Malibu. He's the legit king of the point, still is. And nobody. And I always ask him, well, "How come your boards are so thick and wide?" And he goes, "You know, I don't want guys paddling around me, man." And nobody's still paddling around you yet, have they? See? But I love the East Coast stuff, man. You guys, even your family members that have left town and they're here, they've transplanted themselves here. They know they can go home and get during the season, right? You got the best season going over there when the hurricanes are ripping up the coast and they're making waves on beaches that you see dormant for 9 months out of the year, and then for 3 months out of the year they turn on like a magic light. Yeah, surfing in America is much more appreciated, I think, by the whole collective crew of us together. Does everybody agree with that? As we all bond together here today, right? I really think it's awesome that we all came together and put it out in front of everybody else that why we're here and what we're doing here. And I want to thank the Surf Museum. I'll see you guys the next event. And the movie, the movie season just ended. So if you guys go home and do, well, you guys got snow, right? They got snowmen? So you can build snowmen during the intermission. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, just let's all, board riders. You got anybody involved with the board riders on the East Coast? You guys know what it is? Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. Hey, look, I rambled long enough, and I love you all, and love is it. Love rules. That's it, man. Love rules. Our love for surfing, may it always be forever. Thank you.
Go out here a little bit, then over here, around here a little bit. Yeah. Turn around, Mike. Turn around. I was going to see your back. Encore, one more time.
Okay, that brings us to our final induction for the day. I thought it was appropriate, even though Carissa can't be here today, we do have an amazing acceptance speech from her. You have to understand why I'm ending it with Carissa, even though she can't be here. Since my friend Brian Taylor, who manages her, said this, I see the same talent that I saw 2 decades ago when I was guiding Kelly Slater through his amateur career, Brian Taylor. And she started coming here, competing in the West Coast in the NSSA, and holds the most career titles at the NSSA Nationals. And I thought it was appropriate to have her Olympic coach, Brett Simpson, 2-time U.S. Open champion to come up, talk a little bit about the Olympic experience. But also, I just want General Mills to put her on the Wheaties box, okay? What's up with that? So I'm petitioning now, we want Carissa Moore on the Wheaties box.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Carissa Moore. Wow, I don't know where she is something special, isn't she? I was lucky enough to go to Tokyo and be the coach of the USA team with Kolohe, John, Carissa, Caroline. For the first time, like the crew said, all these guys and girls have paved the way, and she was able to pull off the gold medal. It wasn't an easy event. That event, there was one heat, we were kind of up and down the beach. We were on this end of the beach, we're going to that end. It would be like, how could I explain it? 56th Street to maybe, I don't know, like 2 jetties south, where you're trying to cover these areas, and there's a lot of different the tides and everything. And the final heat, I just said, all right, we're going over here. Kanoa and Italo surfed on this end of the beach. They had a rough time. We're like, we're going to go over here. I'm like, do you trust me? Because if you give her, if she has your trust, she's going to win. she's that good. But when the waves, it was tricky waves, and we just found a plan, and she went out there and does what she does, and then lo and behold, comes back to trestles and stomps her 5th world title. So, yeah, I mean, and I think with Carissa, it's even much more than that. Like Mike was just saying, the love is like her. She loves love, and like when she has that, she's comfortable and things are going good. She's got her foundation now, More Aloha, which if you guys haven't seen, definitely check it out. She's lifting up, teenage, younger women to be their best, and I was able to spend a week during the Supergirl last week, and my daughter was lucky enough to be a part of it. She's 7 years old. She had 24 other young ladies down there that, gosh, it was special to watch. They made lays, they played in the sand, they raced, they surfed, they did it all, and she just showed like how much she enjoys lifting up her people, but also the communities, and she's just damn special. So yeah, and we were lucky enough to have a word from her, I think this morning or last night. She was able to chime in. She's been busy over it. She just got back home, so obviously bummed she can't be here. She melts your heart. She melts my heart all the time, but here we go.
Aloha everyone. I'm bummed that I can't be there in person today, but I wanted to send my warmest thank you to everyone at Huntington Beach Surfing Walk of Fame for including me amongst the incredible list of honorees. It has been an amazing ride this year, and it wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of my family, friends, and fans around the world. Receiving this honor is a really special way to wrap up 2021. All my love to everyone at Huntington Beach. I'm really looking forward to coming and visiting my plaque next year when I'm in town.
I don't know if I already said this, but she's the current times female Duke, if you ask me. She's kind of leading this new path, she's just that Aloha tradition, she's pushing it forward, and I was obviously proud to be, in her side of the camp, and I know she knows a lot of everyone in this crowd. I know she knows a lot of people, so, I'm sure she says thank you, and till next year, you guys.
So that brings to a close the class of 2021.
Focus here.
Except I'm supposed to get the bloody photo taken. Hold on.
In the middle, Zupo.